happened in 24 hours. So fast, I'm still wondering if it really happened. So fast, I still ask myself if there were really such people. Was there a Winter? A Scanlon? Or Marla? Could there be men like Hobry, like Panama? Out of nowhere and gone again, and in one day. I couldn't be sure, I guess, if it weren't for the album, and if it weren't for Alan Pierce. Well, you remember Alan Pierce, Washington's official, unofficial source. The man who could tell you what the president said when he didn't like his dinner dessert, or who was getting paid off for what, and by whom, and how much to the penny. In fact, the top man of Washington's political columnists. Naturally, his return to the hometown stirred lots of interest. For us on the Herald, where he had once worked. And especially since the first thing he did on his arrival was to check into the Belden General Hospital. And maybe you remember, too, at just the time when 22 million anxious readers were waiting for his promised expose of the contents of the Argyle album. The thing he'd been building up in his columns for about 2 weeks before. The Teapot Dome was going to be a church club misunderstanding compared to this. Naturally, all the boys hung around the anteroom of his hospital suite during visiting hours, but nobody from the press cracked the door to the sick room for the first 3 days. It was on the 4th morning that Van Selvin, the doctor, came smiling into the anteroom for his big announcement.
We can definitely say, gentlemen, that the worst is over.
And how about saying it?
You don't want us to write our own stories, do you, Doc?
Give us a break, Doc.
Now, you know, gentlemen, if this dropped to Mr. Pierce himself, he would have seen you all the first day of his illness. But as his medical advisor, naturally, I couldn't allow anything of the sort. However, today, and a good deal on Mr. Pierce's own insistence, mind you, I'm going to allow you to see him. Now, just a minute, boys. We can't all go in at once, because Mr. Pierce is still a very sick man. There can be a few interviews, brief and one at a time. I suggest that you gentlemen draw straws or something for turns. That is, except the man from the Herald. Mr. Pierce has expressly asked to see him first.
Oh, what do you mean?
Here's the Herald representative.
Right here, Doc.
Oh, would you care to go in now?
Right with you, Doctor. Oh, Pinky.
Yeah?
Doctor, this is Mr. Melvin Pincus, the Herald's best and, believe me, quietest photographer. He's very good for patients. I wanted to...
I'm afraid not, Mr. Mitchell.
Okay, Doc. Stand by, Pinky.
Right. Nurse. Mr. Pierce, the press.
You're Harry Mitchell, aren't you?
That's right, Mr. Pierce.
Don't be so formal, Harry. I'm a sick man.
Okay, Al.
That's it for today, Elizabeth. I'll call you. Doctor,
Yes?
couldn't we do something about having this phone connected?
Have you do a full day's work over it again? Oh, no. In a few days, I'll consider it.
But I have to call Miss Cord.
I'll phone her for you. Where can I reach you, Miss Cord?
I'm holding Mr. Pierce's reservations at the Copley. I'll be there most of the day.
Good.
Thank you, Doctor. Bye, Mr. Pierce.
Now, if you gentlemen will allow us a professional moment or two, in another field, that is.
So you're young Mitchell, eh? My, how time flies.
Please, please.
Maybe you can tune in my Sunday broadcast.
On Sundays, I listen to the Philharmonic. Less static.
That's the trouble with doctors. They think everybody's as interested in living as they are in keeping them alive.
Don't let him overdo it. I'll be in the 5th floor laboratory, nurse radiology.
Doctor?
I wish everyone shared your opinion about doctors.
Well, it makes you feel old to see the youngsters coming up. You'll know what I mean sooner than you think, Harry.
I'm beginning to get a few hints already.
Well, you're not really old till you stop going to your friends' weddings and start going to their funerals. I spoke to the old man on the phone. I told him send over the Herald's next Alan Pierce, and he sent you. You consider that a compliment?
Compliment? I'm going to hit him for a nice fat raise.
Well, Harry, have you got all your questions all written down like a nice little reporter should?
I don't work that way.
Good. Neither do I. I thought maybe you wanted to know the secret of my good health. Or maybe you're just the same as everybody else, curious. And you want to know what the Argyle album is and what's in it.
That's about it, but that's your business, whatever it is, so I can't ask.
You're a smart boy.
But I'll ask it anyhow. What is the Argyle album?
Well, how shall I start?
You're not really going to tell me.
Well, it's not the safest kind of information to know, Harry. Of course, I know you don't care anything about that. And it's got to the point where I feel as though I ought to share it with somebody. Somebody who thinks like me. I've also got to ask you not to use this unless I'm not in a position to.
That's a deal.
Well, you know what an album is. This is quite a fancy-looking one. It's white tulle leather-bound, a flaming crimson double-headed eagle crest on it. Here's a photostat of the cover.
This is it, huh?
Yes. It's a handsome item.
Maybe you better take it easy, Mr. Pierce.
You were gonna make it, Al.
Okay, Al, maybe you better take it easy.
No, I'm all right. It's, I guess, I feel a little dizzy.
Do you want the doctor? He lay back on his pillow, breathing hard. He looked bad, his skin a yellow-white. His head was cold, sweaty. There was a thermos bottle on the bedstand that turned out to be empty. I grabbed the glass, ran into the bathroom, and filled it from the tap. I called.
I'll be right there, Al, old boy.
When there was no answer, I just about guessed what it was. I checked to be sure. There was no pulse. I stood there for a while, feeling awfully bad and thinking hard.
Pinky.
Here I am, General. Is he going to pose?
Yeah, he's going to pose. Come on in.
Look at him, Pinky. He's dead.
Huh?
Passed out while we were talking. This is our beat, Pinky. It's big. I don't want those other tin horns out here cutting in.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to phone the paper from a pay station. Then get the doctor. You stay here.
You're not going to let me alone with him.
An old hound like you, are you kidding?
Okay, General.
Does Mr. Pierce need anything?
No, he's all right. He just doesn't want to be bothered. Don't let anybody in.
Harry, we've been waiting a half hour.
That's tough.
Don't be up.
That's the nice thing about newspaper work. None of that debasing competition one finds in other professions.
I don't know. They just called me.
Waiting for
Dr. Van Helving. Hey, Doc, can we go in there now? You said what's going on here?
The newspaper boys knew that something was up. Nobody would let them into the sick room. But the official hospital gang and I barged in. Dr. Van Selbin went over to the bed and pulled back the covers. You could feel the shock go through the whole crowd. A long steel scalpel was sticking right in the middle of Alan Pierce's chest.
You grabbed the thermos and it was almost empty.
All empty, Lieutenant Sampson. I'm not changing my story yet.
Some stories are too pat, Mitchell. Dr. Van Selvin,
Yes, sir.
in your opinion, did the patient die from a heart attack, as our reporter friend here claims, or from the knife wound?
I can't really tell yet. My autopsy will be conclusive. Indications are that it might be either. You see, in either case, the heart was stopped.
The heart usually stops in the case of death, doesn't it, Doctor? The only thing is, I took his pulse before I left the room. There was no pulse. That scalpel might just as well have been stuck in a loaf of bread for all the damage it done.
Look, Mitchell, you're in too tough a spot to get fresh. Nurse, you say you were outside the door all the time?
Yes, sir, and nobody came out except this reporter. The photographer went in, but never came out.
What photographer?
My boy, Pinky. I left him here when I went to the phone.
Well, where is he now?
He was here when I left. That's all I know.
He never came out.
Well, then he must be in here somewhere. Take a look in the bathroom, Haggerty. Michelson, check the windows. Looks bad for your friend, Mitchell.
Pinky wants her to fly, Lieutenant. His conscience has bothered him ever since.
Nobody here, Chief.
Nothing's too low for a newspaper photographer. Why did you leave a dead man unreported? And why did you leave the photographer here without telling the nurse?
Where'd you expect me to leave? Somebody from the Express?
Are the windows locked?
Yes, sir.
Locked room case, Sampson. Should bring out your Scotland Yard background.
Listen, Mitchell, this is my last warning. Dr. Van Selvin, Haggerty. Michelson, go after him.
Okay, fellas, you can go in now. They want to see you.
The crowd going in met the crowd coming out, and I was out of the hospital while they argued about it. First, I lost myself in downtown traffic. I had to time myself against the dragnet. Figured all I needed was time, luck. I walked right through the Copley lobby, and nobody said a thing. Time was with me.
Yes?
I'm a friend of Mr. Pierce's.
Well, Mr. Pierce isn't here right now. He's in the hospital. He's ill.
Yes, I know. Remember, I saw you in Mr. Pierce's room at the hospital just as you were leaving. My name is Harry Mitchell. I'm from the Herald.
Oh, yes, Mr. Mitchell. Come in.
Thank you.
Something I can do?
Yeah.
What is it, Mr. Mitchell?
How about letting me rifle your boss's desk, his files, his possessions? I'll put them back real neat. There's something I want to find.
Are you crazy?
Oh, I was afraid you were going to say that.
What are you going to do?
I'm sorry.
Don't.
I really am. I searched that sweet top and bottom, but if Pierce ever had the Argyle album, he took no chances having it around. Alex, you'll have to do this for me. No, never mind where I am, just do it. There are only those 5 names in Pierce's address book from this city. Check on them and check what relationships they've had with Pierce, if any. And, yeah, no. Don't tell anybody. I'll call you later. Goodbye. I found his personal address book. Pierce had Washington phone numbers in the book of the kind that never gets into public directories. But there were a few in my town that had checks after them. And one was a query on Worcester Street, down by the waterfront. Not the kind of neighborhood Alan Pierce usually socialized in. Just for safekeeping and future reference, I put the photostat of the album's cover that I got from Pierce into an envelope and sent it to myself.
My, what a mess. How do you do, sir? I see you've anticipated me.
What do you want?
You've been thorough in your search. You've no doubt been rewarded.
Look, Heavy, you don't belong here, so get out.
I wouldn't try violence if I were you, friend. You see, I happen to carry this archaic but effective weapon, in which I'm an expert in the use of. I also carry this .38 caliber weapon, but I have a sentimental fondness for the less mechanical devices of death. Would you kindly remove your coat, friend? I tell you, friend, I used to be a great fan of the Musketeers, so I used to practice this sort of thing. All right, friend. Take off your coat. Take it off. Don't! I thought you was gonna kill me. I thought you was gonna kill me.
I haven't made up my mind yet. Get up.
We had a rough moment there, didn't we, my friend?
Roughest is yet to come. What are you doing here?
Not a thing, friend.
Answer the question.
That ain't fair, friend. You know what I'm here for.
Okay. Get in there. Hurry up.
How do you do, man?
Get in here.
Your pleasure, Colonel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was about to knock.
Oh, I see. I was on my way out.
Is Elizabeth here?
Elizabeth?
Miss Court, Mr. Pierce's secretary.
Miss Court, yes, she's in the other room.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Where does a guy go when he's wanted by the police? I had things to do and things to find out. But I also needed a place where I could sit down and think things through. Then I remembered I was carrying a key from my pal Whitey Walsh's apartment while he was sunning himself somewhere in Florida. At least nobody could figure my going there. At least so I thought.
Hello there. I wish you'd decided to open the door.
What do you want?
May I come in?
It's your risk. How did you follow me here?
Do you have a cigarette? I just finished a pack.
How did you follow me here?
So unusual for you to have female visitors?
This place belongs to a friend of mine. He's been in Florida for a month. Nobody, least of all you, knows he lent me a key.
Shouldn't be so difficult to figure out. Stood at the window, saw you leave the hotel, and noticed the cab number that picked you up.
You know all kinds of tricks, don't you?
Few, Mr. Mitchell. You may call me Marla.
How did you know my name?
Why, it's in all the papers. And a very good picture of you, too. You're a famous fugitive, and I consider this quite an honor.
Let's get to the point.
You got to Pierce's hotel room before I did. I want the Argyle album.
Just like that?
No, not just like that. I could be nasty, you know. After all, the police want you.
Somehow, Marla, that doesn't worry me. I don't think you have much traffic with the police.
An astute youngster.
Thank you.
I like you.
I like you, too, but I haven't time.
I'll give you $500 for
I haven't got it.
it. 1,000.
I don't even know what it is. What is the Argyle album?
10,000.
Without a breath. That's quite a jump.
10,000?
I'm really sorry, Marla.
It's all I wanted to know. It's not for sale. Very well. Mr. Winter, Mr. Hobray, Mr. Mitchell.
How do you do, Mr. Mitchell? And Mr. Scanlon, since this seems to be such a friendly occasion, Mr. Mitchell.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Never offer a cigarette light to a woman of questionable background.
Oh, he had a gun. I didn't think he was the type.
He's not very cooperative. He won't perform, not for love, nor for money. Very stubborn.
She really didn't try love, Mr. Winter.
From what I know about Marla, that's hard to believe. Eh, Marla? So you're stubborn, Mr. Mitchell. A stubborn murderer.
Just for the record, the last thing I killed was a pint of bourbon at my best friend's wake. And before you ask it again, I'll repeat the question. Just what is the Argyle album supposed to be?
You are a very gifted actor.
Never mind, skip it.
Isn't $10,000 enough? It's the most we can offer and still make a profit.
Let's not waste time.
Very well. Go. Starving man in the refugee lines of Europe. A Rembrandt wrapped around his filthy body, knowing that if ever he made his way out, that piece of canvas and paint was his future and security. That's what the Argyle album is to me. I protected it with my body from mud and water. I waited till the end of a war with it. It was hope. When hope was gone. It was light when there was nothing but darkness. It is mine, and I'm going to have it. It is mine. Do you hear me? It is mine. It is mine. It is mine.
Where's the album, darling? Where's the album?
I don't know. I swear I don't know.
You don't want me to call him again, do you?
No, please, no. No.
They're in the kitchen. I'm supposed to help wake you up and then call him.
Oh, don't.
If you haven't got it, you know where it is.
I don't. I swear I don't. I don't even know what it is.
I believe you. At least I'm fool enough to be willing to believe you. You know, some men weren't so sure that we'd win this late and little lamented war. So they made deals. Deals with men who should have been their enemies. Big money deals. So that they'd come out all right no matter which side won. The records of those deals were buried deep. What happened? A bomb made a direct hit. A bank vault opened like a spoiled tin can and spilled its rotten secrets. Then came the scavengers, the looters, who always followed air raids. And with them, Winter, who found among the debris the documents of betrayal. Winter had lived in America before, recognized the names and inscribed, and knew that he had found a fortune in blackmail.
I see.
He had to wait for the war to end. Outlast an occupation, conceal a record, and get to America. That wasn't easy. Then he had to work out a careful system of extortion, because he was dealing with men bigger and more dangerous than himself. That wasn't easy either. And after all that, a simple, almost silly accident deprived him of the album. Naturally, he wants it back. Badly.
How did he lose it?
Well, hiding places for items such as these often present a problem. I speak from certain experience. Well, Winter chose a good place, a public locker in a bus station. How was he to know that a 1,000,000-to-1 twist of fate would lead a band of hoodlums to that particular locker? They blew up a section of the lockers with a dynamite stick and sold the album along with other stored items, and has been missing ever since. Until Alan Pierce started hinting about an international scandal in his column. So since you were the first one to get to Pierce's suite after he died, naturally, Winter had reason to suspect you might have the album. Big men whose names are involved want it too. Lots of people want it badly, as I said before, including me.
You? What for?
Resale value.
I see. That's a comparatively decent motive.
I'm a comparatively decent person.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. You know, I could press my thumbs and you couldn't even yell.
You don't think I'd have given you a chance like this if I really cared?
I'm not kidding.
That's what I'll tell them. That you choked me and I couldn't yell. You go down the fire escape. I'll give you plenty of time before I call them.
I don't figure it. What's in it for you?
I'll expect to hear from you. I'm at the Hotel Wilmington.
Okay. You asked for it.
Don't be afraid. Winter will look for the bruises.
It was a funny experience, choking a woman deliberately. I squeezed pretty hard, scuffing bruises at her throat to make it look good. I got so mixed up I didn't know what I was doing, and I stopped once and kissed her very hard.
practicing.
What time is it, huh?
Still got 15 minutes.
Hello, Gerald. Remember me?
I don't know you. Hey, Ma! Hey, Ma!
Of course you do. Remember? I used to live.
Now, I'm warning you.
Harry Mitchell. I used to live upstairs, apartment 6C. Mr. Walsh lives there now.
Oh, Mr. Mitchell, you shouldn't do such things. Such a shock.
I'm awfully sorry.
Do we know him?
Sure, Gerald. Remember Mr. Mitchell worked on the Herald, and he got Beverly's wedding picture in the newspaper. Are you still working for the newspaper, Mr. Mitchell?
Yeah.
Well, what are we standing here? Come in the front room. We'll talk comfortable.
Well, I can only stay a minute.
Won't you sit down, Mr. Mitchell?
Oh, thanks.
You'll pardon my asking, but frankly, Mr. Mitchell, how did you get in our bedroom?
Whitey Walsh is in Florida, and he lent me the key to his apartment. Some fellows played a trick on me. They locked me out on the fire escape. I took a tumble on the way down.
Oh, never mind. You can't go back looking like this. Here, give me your coat. I'll fix it.
Oh, it's fine. Thank you. Do you have a phone here?
Sure, there. Help yourself. I'll fix this in a jitney.
Thank you.
Gerald, your lessons. You're not finished yet.
Hello, Alex. Harry. Never mind about that. What did you get? Yeah. Joe McBride. Marine salvage. Yeah, that is peculiar. What's the address? I'll remember it. Oh, Alex, please don't tell any...
Hello, Ma.
Did you bring the rye bread?
Oh, I'm sorry I forgot it.
It's all right. Gerald will run down later.
I'm listening.
It's Mr. Mitchell, an old friend.
Okay. Yeah, in a half hour. Okay. So long.
I'll have your coat in a minute. Melvin, this is Mr. Mitchell.
How are you?
Hello.
Maybe you could put his picture in your paper. He was just promoted to the homicide department.
Huh? Homicide, huh?
Yeah. What happened to you?
Oh, you ought to see the other guy. You know Lieutenant Sampson?
Sure. He's my new boss. I'll be out of uniform in a week.
Oh, I'm on the Herald.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't get much chance to read the papers. They keep me out in the pistol range all day.
Hey, Mel! PS42 big today.
Gerald! Gerald, you got 5 minutes practice yet?
Oh, Ma.
Go ahead, kid. Do what your mama tells you.
Well, it ain't perfect, but at least you can get to the street in it.
If St. Louis splits games today, I'll probably win the pool. You follow baseball, Mr. Mitchell?
No, but I will. Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Rubin.
It was a pleasure. Melvin, what's the news?
Just a minute, Ma.
Well, I thank you again. I really must go.
It's too bad. When you lived in this building, Melvin was in the Army. Remember, Melvin, I sent you Beverly's picture? Mr. Mitchell got it in.
Oh, yeah. I got that letter in Rome.
Melvin got 2 Bronze Stars. He would have gotten the Congregational Medal, only his sergeant was jealous.
Ma, not congregational. Congressional. Besides, it ain't true.
Oh, I'm sure it was. So long, Mel.
So long. Hey! I'll give your regards to the lieutenant.
Yeah, do that.
Say, it's a shame you had to move out of here, but if you got better situated now...
Yeah, well, so long.
So long. You know, Ma, it's a small world. Him mentioning the lieutenant, the station...
Well, here it was. The waterfront. The Worcester Street neighborhood. I had the name, Joe McBride, and the Worcester Street address. Sane and respectable people stayed away from places like this. What was I doing here? Why didn't I give up like a good little boy and let nature take its course? Well, at the time, I had what seemed like a few good reasons for going on. One was for Pierce, a man I respected. One was for Pinky, a man I liked. And one was for myself, to finish what I had started. To prove a point to a cop named Sampson, a man named Winter, and a woman named Marla. Joe McBride, Marine Salvage. It was 7 o'clock and the light was on, but the place looked empty. I took a deep breath. Time was running out.
What do you want?
I'm looking for Mr. McBride. Are you Joe McBride?
That's my name. What do you want?
The album.
I know you. You're that Mitchell guy the cops are after.
Don't believe everything you read in the papers.
Who do you work for?
So you do have the album.
Don't force me to use this, Mitchell.
I've got you sized up, McBride. You're the neighborhood fence. This salvage business is just a cover-up for selling hot stuff.
I'm in lots better terms with the cops than you are, and I'm phoning for them right now. Get over there.
That's how you got the album, wasn't it? And a load of stuff some kids brought you. I'll bet you were selling it to Pierce for plenty.
Selling's no crime.
Except that you double-crossed him and never sent him more than 1 or 2 pages of photostats just to tease him. You figured you were as good at blackmail as the next guy.
There's nothing to stop me from killing you right now.
No, I guess not.
Sure not. You're a fugitive, aren't you? An escaped killer.
Won't the cops want to know why I was here?
And they'll thank me for this. You're too smart. It's just tough you're such a smart guy. Mr. Smart Guy. Hello? Hi? Oh, I'll see them later. Give my love to Sandy.
You are fortunate, friend, that I have the mate to the one you absconded from me. You are going to say thanks for your life being saved.
Thanks.
Now, where were we?
Looks like I'm right where I was 30 seconds ago.
Not necessarily, friend. We might be able to make a deal. We might.
How'd you catch up with me?
It was through your kind offices that I first met Elizabeth.
Elizabeth?
Miss Court, poor Mr. Pierce's secretary. A very nice girl. Alabama born.
What did she do? Tell you that Pierce had made a deal with McBride?
That's the general idea. How'd you get here? Not that it's not nice to have you.
I found an address book in Pierce's apartment. It was the only address in this city that I couldn't understand being in there.
You look pretty banged up.
I had a meeting with a Mr. Winters and his 2 assistants, Aubrey and Scanlon.
Good. That sort of evens us for that poke you gave me. You see, Mitchell, crime doesn't pay.
There was a girl, Marla, not as cooperative as Miss Court was with you.
Ah, yes, I know that trio. And I hope they didn't get that book before I do, because I have an idea they're stiff.
Where's the album? Is it here? Is it here?
Hello? He isn't here. Just a friend. No, Mrs. McBride. Your husband left no message. When a smart guy's licked, he gives up. I consider myself a smart guy. So, first I went home and picked up the letter I'd sent myself. I delivered myself to my true, tried, and sweet-tempered friend, Lieutenant of Homicide, Samuel Seward Sampson.
You reporters sometimes get the idea we're playing some kind of game here. You forget we're servicing the community, protecting it against lawlessness and crime.
I did the best I could. I phoned you the minute I got my wind.
You gave us a bum steer.
Bum steer? I saw them shoot each other.
Well, we found the big guy in the white suit, very dead. There was no little guy.
Well, he was in no condition to go walking the last time I saw him.
Well, he wasn't there.
I'm only telling you.
Okay, it doesn't matter. We'll pick him up. And now, what do you expect us to do with you?
Book me on suspicion of murder.
The murder of whom, may I ask?
Alan Pierce.
Do you want to confess?
For something I didn't do? It's not bargain day today, Lieutenant.
No, I guess not. Nobody loves a policeman.
What's wrong? Did the autopsy on Pierce come through?
I was wondering why you gave yourself up. Yeah. Postmortem on Pierce came through an hour ago. Died of heart failure.
Like I said.
Yeah.
I hate to be an I told you so.
But only because he was so overdosed that even a normal heart would give out. And his was bad.
Overdosed? You mean poison?
The same thing, too much medicine. And Dr. Van Selvin, who gave it to him, is gone. Took a powder. So unfortunately, Mitchell, you're not even runner-up for a suspect now.
Why, unfortunately?
Because, frankly, Mitchell, I don't like you. You're not my type.
Uh-huh. How about the scalpel that was stuck into Pierce?
So far, it doesn't mean a thing. It didn't kill him anyhow. Sampson. Yeah? Okay. That guy McBride is still missing. He's not at home and no hospital has reported him in.
Say, maybe the guy that stuck the scalpel into Pierce just wanted to create suspicious circumstances around the death to make sure there would be an autopsy.
Well, that's an angle.
Otherwise, you'd never known about the poison. You'd have accepted Van Selvin's certificate for ordinary heart failure.
You want to work for me, Mitchell? You've got powers of deduction.
No. How about Pinky?
Well, I could hold you for his murder, but I don't think we can make the motive stand up. Besides, there were fingerprints on both scalpels. Not yours. I think Pinky just got in somebody's way.
How'd the guy that stuck the scalpels into both of them get in and out of the hospital room?
Look, Mitchell, do you want to be held?
Oh, no. No, thanks.
Well, then stop asking me questions I can't answer. Besides, there's another angle in this thing that you don't even know about. Say, do you know anything about the Argyle album?
Never heard of it. Well, you mean that collection of secret documents that Pierce was mentioning in his column? No, what about it?
Nothing. Just an angle.
Well, can I go now, please?
Huh? Oh, go. Yes, but not too far. I may still have to pin that pinky wrap on you.
Otherwise, I'm a free man.
As free as your conscience, Mitchell. Oh, and Mitchell, you'll have to attend several inquests tomorrow. I want you to remember that I could have you tied down to stakes as a material witness. But I'm letting you go home tonight out of the goodness of my heart. So go home.
It took me almost an hour to shake Sampson's shadows. Even then, I wasn't sure. Marla had said the Hotel Wilmington, so that's where I went.
Looking for something? Perhaps I can help you.
Hello, Marla.
That's what comes from a girl giving her address to strangers.
How would you like to have a little business talk with your Uncle Harry?
Certainly, darling.
Where are the boys?
Next floor down.
Still together, huh?
Woodyer was a little upset about your leaving without his permission, but decided it was better that way after all.
I'm afraid you'll have to explain that one. I'm a little slow.
You left a trail. And the trail led farther than any had before.
It couldn't be that that's why you let me go, could it?
It's typical male gratitude.
Call it what you want. I led you to McBride. What'd you get from him?
Me?
You and your whole gang. What did you get from McBride?
Who do you think you're questioning like that?
Don't tempt me or I'll answer that one.
Why, you...
Oh, you double-crossing...
You leave me alone. You leave me alone.
With pleasure.
Why...
Now, was McBride alive when Winter got to him?
I don't know.
Was he alive?
Yes, he was.
What'd he tell him?
Nothing.
Did Winter get the album? Did Winter get it?
No.
How do you know?
He wouldn't still be here if he had. Harry, please.
What happened to McBride?
He died while Winter questioned him. We had to take him from the office because we were afraid the police would arrive. I don't like talking about it.
McBride will be glad to hear that one.
For the man who shot him, you're certainly taking on high moral airs.
You still haven't got me right, Marla. Panama killed McBride.
Panama?
That southern guy.
Oh, his name was Archie. Archibald Boleyn.
Who was Panama, by the way?
I think he was working for someone else.
And who's that someone else?
Harry, I don't know. That I swear.
Sure he wasn't one of your outfit?
I wish he had been.
How's that?
McBride said that Archie might have gotten the album.
Come again?
When Winter was questioning McBride, he pointed to Archie's corpse and said, ask him.
Well, if I stay around here any length of time, I'll learn a lot of things. You just said that McBride died without saying anything.
Well, he didn't really.
What's the matter with you? Can't you talk straight? You just told me that McBride said something about Panama getting the album. What do you mean by that crack?
Harry, I don't know. I'm no mind reader. It meant to Winter that at least McBride had known where it was.
That must have been great for McBride. What did Winter do to make him talk?
Please, Harry.
Oh, this is swell. You participate in something and then can't bear the memory of it.
You're so sure.
I'm not sure of anything. Least of all, anything that you tell me.
You think I'm utterly rotten, don't you?
I don't know.
I am, Harry. I don't know why, but I am.
Is this part of your standard routine? Let me in.
Come in, Mr. Mitchell. Come in.
Get over there.
I assure you, Mr. Mitchell...
Get over there. Turn around.
My dear fellow...
Turn around and put your hands in the back of your head. Where's your gang?
By gang, I presume you mean...
Where are they?
I don't know. I haven't the least idea.
You're a liar.
I haven't seen them for the last 3 hours.
You're a liar.
I do not know where my so-called gang is.
Were you with them when they picked up McBride?
No.
Scanlon, I'm...
Yes, I was with them.
What'd they take him away for?
We've made no secret of the fact that we desire possession of the Argyle album. We thought a man left dying by you might be the source of some pertinent information.
Was he?
Unfortunately, no.
That isn't what Marla told me.
What did she tell you?
She said something about McBride, saying that Panama was the only one who might have gotten the album.
Panama?
Yeah. Archibald Boleyn, that southerner.
Oh, now that you mention it, McBride did say something to that effect. Unfortunately, he died just at that point.
Oh, no, he didn't. Otherwise, you would have left him there. Your bunch couldn't take any chances on hanging around any longer, so Winter and Holbury took McBride with them and sent you and Marla up here.
Well, then in any event, you can't expect me to tell you what happened to McBride.
No, but you might tell me what he meant by that crack about Panama.
Maybe you can tell me.
I'll answer it. Say hello.
Hello, Scanlon speaking.
Tell him you'll take care of it.
I'll take care of it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Now, might I ask who called me?
You might not.
To get back to our discussion, then, what did McBride mean about Panama? Mitchell, what is it? You know where the album is. Tell me, Mitchell, tell me.
Why should I tell you? It's like the coach of Notre Dame giving his signals to the coach of Michigan.
Let me put it this way. I'm prepared to pay for services rendered. Pay well.
Who are you kidding? You're only second man on this team.
Wait, Mitchell. Let's discuss this.
That reminds me. I hate being pushed around without being able to push back.
Don't.
All right, Mitchell. Raise your hands and come out. I hope, Mr. Mitchell, you do not consider your temporary safety for anything but that. If you come out, Mitchell, I might give you some consideration for being cooperative. Very well, then. I noticed that Mr. McBride has among the tools of his trade some crowbars and metal saws and even an acetylene torch. I'm certain that some of them will be very effective against this lock, but I prefer you saving me the trouble.
The last thing I want to save you, Winter, is trouble.
Please. Don't limit my alternatives, Mitchell. Because I hold to the stubborn notion that you can lead me to the album. Now, if you still wish to cooperate...
That's a great offer. From a guy who just tried to use me for a clay pigeon.
If you think I shot to kill, you underestimate me. Now, why don't you be reasonable? The sooner you come out and answer a few questions, the sooner you will get medical attention.
From a doctor like Van Selbin?
What's your point?
The police say he killed Pierce. Did he?
You wish to change the subject. I presume that means you will only come out the hard way. How I did it, assuming I did it.
Let's say I can't tell you how, but I can tell you why. You compromised the doctor.
Don't let this worry steer your train of thought. You were telling me I wanted to compromise the doctor.
I've thought harder about this than I have about anything else in my whole life. The only way I can put things together is like this. There are not one, but two men whose names are involved in that album. Each seeking with his own group to beat the other's time. One of these acted first. He had Pierce killed. That was the one who had Van Selbin in Panama working for him. Then there's another name in the album. My guess is that it's yours. You're no more Mr. Winter than I am. The original Mr. Winter, or whatever the name of the man who smuggled the album out of Europe, you took care of when he tried to blackmail you and your friends. You're the other big shot. Mr. Big Shot and traitor.
Your theorizing fascinates me, Mr. Mitchell, but it's only theory.
Still, it explains why you stuck the scalpel into Pierce, compromised Van Selbin, and indirectly his boss.
Still, only theory. But isn't this indulgence in violence a rather strange occupation for a man of my so-called high position?
Not at all.
Man doesn't become an international power by going to Sunday school on weekdays. Even being a trader wasn't hard for you. Anyhow, you decided to do your dirty work yourself. But you needed help. So posing as a blackmailer, you hired professionals like Marler and Gill here to work with you.
The young man would have you believe that I deceived you as to my identity.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Marler were undeceived.
You wouldn't.
She's already started working on her own. Let me escape from you the first time.
You see, Gil, Mr. Mitchell cleverly attempts to sow dissension in our ranks. And for your impertinence, Mr. Mitchell, I wish to notify you that you have perhaps 30 seconds in which to formulate an apology.
Okay, Winter, now come on in and get me.
When a rat can't be reached any other way, he can always be burned out.
There's one more thing you didn't count on.
Make it fast.
I can do a little more than tell you where the album is. I have it with me.
You're a liar.
I have it right here.
Show it to me, Mitchell.
I thought you said you respected my intelligence. Gil, did you ever see the album? It's a leather book. Stamped on it is a crest containing a double-headed eagle. Then the claws of the eagle is a lamb with blood running from its wounds. There's a written inscription woven across the top.
Come out, Mitchell, or burn.
Burn me, Winter, and you burn the album.
That's up to you.
Gil, stop him! The album.
Let go. Let him talk. Let go of my arm, you fool. He hasn't got the album.
Let him talk. Thanks, Gil.
Talk, Mitchell.
You see, Winter, or whatever your name is, Gil and Mahler have been playing along with you, figuring that you were their kind. But get this, Gil. I overheard Winter on the phone telling his stooge Scanlon to get rid of Mahler. You've been assuming you'd get your share because you figured you'd be around when it came in. But now Winter's getting the album. The album which can't hurt anybody but him. Gil's been doing some fast thinking the last few minutes. He's been wondering what's to prevent you from walking out of here and disappearing forever. Where's the payoff? Who's going to protect his interests? You see, he figured you for an honest crook, not a big-timer.
You aren't listening to him, Gil, are you? I told you he's trying to split us up. He's paying for time, trying to save his miserable skin.
Look at him close, Gil. That's the man that went through so much to get the album. Now he'd just as soon have it burned or destroyed as have it. That's right. You wanted to burn it, Mr. Big Shot.
Wait, Gil. I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay you more than you ever dreamed. Look it, Gil! Look it! Look it, you're crazy!
That was it. I went to a doctor, and while I was being patched up, it hit me. The album had been in the careful hands of the United States Mail, where Joe McBride had put it for Alan Pierce before he knew Pierce was dead. That meant Miss Court, Pierce's secretary, now had it. I called her and made a deal for the album. We agreed to meet at the airport. I met Miss Court and gave her $500, and she gave me $1 million worth of story.
Flight 23 leaving in 15 minutes from Portal B. Flight 23 leaving in 15 minutes from Portal B. Flight 23 leaving in 15 minutes from Portal
Lovely
B.
flying weather.
I thought we agreed on the phone to meet at your hotel.
Is that what you said? We must have had a bad connection.
Phone service on my end was perfect.
Then, too, Harry, you're such an upright boy, with such an overdeveloped sense of righteousness. You might have done something silly, like having the police waiting there for me.
So, you decided to meet me at your own convenience.
I'd be frightfully hurt if you didn't think lunch would be less boring with me here.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. Immeasurably less boring.
Is this it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, to the victor belongs something. How did you know where it was?
Well, you were the one who gave me the so-called clue, sweet.
No, don't tell me that. I'd feel terrible.
As a matter of fact, you are the one who first told me that McBride had said something about Panama having the best chance of getting it. I guess while we thought McBride was lying there dead, he overheard Panama tell me about his friendly relations with Pierce's secretary.
What happened there anyway? I mean between Archie and Miss Court.
I guess it was love.
That funny thing.
She told me she said something about him being a real gentleman and treating her like a lady.
Wish a few more of you men would try it.
Anyhow, that was the reason for McBride's remark. Because even before Pierce's death was announced, he'd mailed a photostatic copy of the album to Pierce's suite. I should have known there was a copy because I had the cover. It arrived after we left the hotel.
I see. Then McBride realized that Elizabeth was helping Archie. And he could have gotten a copy of the album from her if he hadn't left and gotten killed. So this is it.
Yep, that's it.
Still worth a lot of money, Harry, to at least one man who can afford to pay it.
Is it?
Now that you have it, what are you going to do with it?
Well, that's hard to explain, Marla. I feel sort of an obligation or a duty.
You mean to your paper?
That too, but more than that, to Alan Pierce.
I see. You're going to take up where he left off.
That's about it.
It'll be a big break for you, Harry. A hefty byline, maybe even a column syndicated. You'll get rich in your own way. Keep big scandal monger.
That's why I said it would be hard to explain to you.
You're a fine one to talk. Oh, it's great to be on the winning side. All you respectable crooks hang together and we just hang. Well, I quit the Campfire Girls a long time ago.
I'm afraid I'm a little too tired to answer that.
Flight 44 is now arriving at Portal A.
Goodbye, Harry.
Flight 44
Goodbye,
is
Mama.
now arriving at Portal A. Flight 44 is now arriving at Portal A.
Listen, darling, we belong together. You're smart and brave and... Would you kiss me goodbye, Harry?
That's not a difficult assignment.
Look down, dearest. I'm going to take that album, Harry.
That's the nice thing about you, Marla. You leave such lovely memories.
I can't help it, darling. I was willing to share it with you, share everything. But this is your choice. Goodbye, Harry.
Boy,
Yes, sir?
you see that man over by the cashier, the one in the gray fedora hat?
Last call.
Yes, sir, I see him.
Give him that briefcase that's on the table. Tell him it's from Harry Mitchell, and I'll see him in a moment.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Lieutenant.
Where were you?
I was held up.
You gave us a bad steer on the phone again, Mitchell. We covered every entrance. That girl didn't come in or out of the hotel. You're costing the taxpayers money.
Can I have my briefcase, please?
Just a second. Answer what I said.
What about that scandal lead I gave you?
Well, you didn't wait for us either. Have you got anything for me here?
Oh, no, this was a false lead.
I thought so.
Oh, Sampson. Lieutenant, did Scandal get away?
No, he jumped out of the hotel window. Messy. Say, have you got any idea how Winters got out of that hospital room without being recognized?
Well, sort of. I figured he dressed as a hospital attendant to get in there earlier. Then when those nurses and attendants rushed into the room and around Pierce's bedside, he merely came from behind the curtain and mingled with the crowd. I'd say he sort of dressed for the occasion.
You got a good deductive mind, Mitchell. But there's something else.
Oh, yeah?
Some federal men dropped in my office this morning. They're very interested in that Argyle album business.
Oh, yeah?
What I mean is it would be quite a feather in the department's cap if...
Yeah, I understand, Lieutenant.
Then you do know something about it?
About what?
This album business.
Oh, Lieutenant, not a thing. Do you mind?
Oh, no. But there must be an angle somewhere there, Mitchell. There's got to be.
Well, there probably is. Well, I've got to get back to the office. Goodbye, Lieutenant.
Hey, wait, Mitchell.
Yeah?
Oh, well. Never mind. What could he know about it?